Wednesday, 24 August. Day 3 without internet in the house. Still clinging to my sanity as they upgrade the wireless network here. None of us really understand why they couldn't have waited another week and done it during spring break when none of the students would be here, but that's just the way things work. Flying to Melbourne tomorrow after class, I'm starting to get a little nervous about driving a manual transmission car on the left-hand side of the road. Is the shifter a mirror image, or is first still in the upper left corner? I have no idea. It's going to be an adventure. I took a tour of the south coast region of New South Wales this Saturday, and although I spent most of the day on the bus, I did see a lot of cool places. Started out visiting Fitzroy Falls and Morton National Park. It was supposed to be a short stop, but some members on the tour went off on their own and we ended up losing about 45 minutes waiting for them to return. Enjoyed a beautiful scenic view of the Urunga Valley. Just kidding, actually we couldn't see anything at all. Went in and out of the Kangaroo Valley on some pretty sketchy roads. I shouldn't be worried about things on the right shoulder when we're supposed to be driving on the left. The weather was a lot nicer once we were out of the mountains. At 7 Mile Beach National Park, we had an informative talk from 2 Aboriginal rangers. There's actually 2 kinds of boomerangs, and one of them doesn't return. This is the returning variety, though. Women weren't allowed to touch the didgeridoo because the circular breathing required messes up your respiratory system and makes it harder to have children. Instead, they did things like weaving. They would actually cut off the top joint of their pinky finger as part of a coming-of-age ceremony because it got in the way when they weaved. I wasn't nearly as good as this when I tried to throw it. He was going to try to catch it, but shortly after this he threw it and hit a tree and broke. A short walk away, we spent some time on 7 Mile Beach. It was cold and the water was pretty rough, but that didn't stop us from putting our feet in.
Yeah.
And then getting completely soaked when a big wave came. If you're curious, that scream came from the girl I'm traveling to Melbourne with. Then we drove up the coast to the town of Kiama to see the Blowhole. The waves compress air in a cave under the ground, and then pressurized air then blows the water out through the hole. Serious injury or death warning sign? We'll just go around that. The cave entrance to the blowhole. It's a very pretty area, but since this was a bus tour, we had about 15 minutes to see it all. And now, changing gears, checked out the rugby game on Saturday night, and I was lucky enough to get handed a free ticket by a girl outside the stadium. As you can tell from the crowd, they're not in too high demand. While on the surface, rugby is pretty similar to football, I really couldn't understand much of this game at all. Just a lot of running plays, laterals, and tackles. It actually got quite exciting in the end, and the Sydney Roosters did end up with a win.